Robinhood's IPO was exactly 3 weeks ago today, and what a roller coaster these 3 weeks have been. Let's talk about it and why I'm staying out of the hood. Hi, I'm Tony Denaro. Let me know if you've been on this roller coaster ride or if you decided to skip it and go straight to the movies. Let's get into the highlights. Robinhood launched their IPO on July 29th to a lot of fanfare in the media at a price of $38. And much to many people's surprise, at least in the media, it started tanking right away. However, just a couple days later, it skyrocketed all the way up to $85 on August 4th, the day that options were first allowed to be traded on Hood stock. Then on August 5th, we get this press release that stockholders file to sell 97.9 million shares. This is some of the initial investors of Robinhood, and it is a conversion of convertible notes, and they will be selling those over time. And as we can see from the next green bar on the chart here, August 5th, the stock took a deep dive based on that press release, and it has been struggling ever since. On Friday, August 13th, we get a press release towards the end of the trading day from Charles Gasparino covering the House Financial Services Committee and the bill going through regarding payment for order flow. As initially drafted back in May, that bill did have wording that said it was going to look at prohibition on certain payment for order flow. However, and maybe not surprisingly to many of you, when the bill was introduced on July 22nd into committee, we got a much more watered down version. Instead of talking about prohibiting payment for order flow, the wording now just says the SEC shall carry out a study on payment for order flow. Not surprisingly, with the way things work in Congress, this study could take up to 18 months. And they do say at the end, not later than 18 months after date of enactment of this act. They do want the results of the study, including, if warranted, to prohibit or limit the payment for order flow. Quite a bit drastic difference from the original draft of the bill. We can see right here that Mr. Gasparino's press release did let the stock pop for about 15 minutes at the end of the day on the 13th, but it's really struggled ever since. There was a little bit of a run-up into the Q2 earnings announcement, but as we're about to see, that announcement disappointed. I have looked through the 10Q financials, but just to give you a quicker overview, let's look at the Robinhood presentation. Cumulative funded accounts are up, monthly active users are up, assets under custody are up, average revenue per user is flat, total revenues are up, and net revenues are up, as well as operating expenses are up. Robinhood has posted a loss in the last 2 quarters due to mark-to-market adjustments on their convertible notes and warrant liabilities. And finally, looking at adjusted EBITDA, they've had a slight increase in the last 12 months from 63 million to 90 million. Of interest to me is the large amount of net revenues at Robinhood that are specific to options and cryptos, far eclipsing the amount of net revenues from equities. And you can also see that they're making a considerable amount on net interest revenue from securities lending and margin interest, 39 and 31 million respectively for the quarter. As a result of those mark-to-market adjustments, the earnings per share for the quarter ended up at a negative $2.16 per share. Of interest to me is Robinhood's disclosures that they expect retail traders to become less active in the third quarter and that a large percentage of their cryptocurrency revenue came from Dogecoin. Of the cryptocurrency transaction volume, Robinhood said that Dogecoin accounted for 62% of the transaction volume. That's just amazing. I know there's a lot of debate about whether or not Robinhood is a meme stock or whether the Reddit crowd supports it or not. My sense from reading on Reddit is that it is not a meme stock and the Reddit crowd does not support Robinhood, although they aren't actively betting against it en masse either. But as we saw just a second ago in the presentation details from Robinhood, the monthly active users has continued to grow, and I'll admit that's much to my surprise. I personally don't have a good feel for which direction Robinhood stock is going to be trading over the next quarter or even the next year. So for that reason, I'm going to be sitting it out for now, and I'm not going to take a serious look at it unless it gets down closer to the IPO price, maybe in the $35 range, or until they have another quarter of earnings under their belt and I can get a better sense for which direction the company's heading. I want to know what you think about Robinhood stock. Do you trade on that platform? Did you buy at the IPO, or did you buy or sell after? Do you have call or put options? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to buy and hold that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video.
She thinks that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability.